A new era begins in Lincoln. From the Bob Devaney Sports Center, we have spring volleyball as the Big 12's Kansas Jayhawks travel to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And it may be spring, but it feels every bit as important as any evening in the fall here in Lincoln. And hello again, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, and welcome inside John Cook Arena. I am joined by my broadcast partner, John Cook. John, why was Danny Busboom Kelly the right person to take over this program?
I just think, she's gone away from, growing up here, playing here, being an assistant coach here, and then she went away and proved that she can do it at a place that needed a total rebuild. And she's done an amazing job. And so I think that is the preparation that somebody needs to come back here and handle the expectations and the pressure of Nebraska volleyball. And I think the thing that finally sold everybody is when you host the Final Four and you get to it, it's a lot of pressure to get there, and she proved that she could do that, and they almost won the whole thing. So she's shown that she's ready.
It's funny how history repeats itself. When Terry Pettit handed you the program, he left the cupboard full. You've done the same thing for DBK. Let's talk about Harper Murray.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Harper Murray this year. She wants to be a leader. She's told me several times she wants to be the captain of this team. But with that, there's a lot of expectations with that. And she's ready for that because she's been through so much with her first two careers here, with the expectations, with the failures she's had and the things she's struggled with. But because of that, she's now come out much stronger, much more mature, and her emotional game now has gone to another level along with her physical and volleyball part.
Her classmate, another junior, Bergen Riley, two-time Big Ten Center of the Year.
Yeah, she's got some big shoes to fill, living up to those expectations now. But I think also she has grown. She's a junior now, and she's somebody that's been very close. And I know she has this deep hunger now to win the national championship because she's tasted it. And so I think she's going to be one of the leaders on this team and go to another level.
It's all part of Husker Games weekend in Lincoln. The football program, the softball program, and the highlight tonight here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, it's volleyball. Kansas and Nebraska in the spring from Lincoln. Here's the starting lineup for the Kansas Jayhawks under first-year head coach Matt Ulmer. He came from Oregon. Kristen Klein brought his setter with him from Oregon. She followed him to Kansas. She'll be the starting setter. And then also look out for Reese Patak. Patak is just a sophomore, fantastic on the slide and one of the threats for the Jayhawks. Here's your starting lineup. Skylar Pierce, along with Taylor Landfair, getting the start. So Skylar will play at that opposite position that she's there in the spring. We'll see what it looks like come fall and whether or not Skylar Pierce remains on the right side. But look at this crowd. This is a spring match, Coach Cook.
I'm looking at the standing room only up here. I mean, it's packed. This is unbelievable. But what this is providing a great opportunity for two new head coaches, their teams, because both of them are going to open here in August for the ABCA showcase. So now this is the prep for this. It gives them a dress rehearsal. So what a wonderful opportunity. And again, there's no place like Nebraska to make this happen.
Should have heard the applause for Danny Busboom Kelly as she was announced first-year head coach on the bench for the Huskers. Originally, this was going to be a closed scrimmage, no fans, but with Matt Ulmer going to Kansas, DBK starting in Nebraska, what a great dress rehearsal for both of these programs to get their players used to what the pregame is going to look like.
Yeah, and again, I know every year as a head coach, when you first match, you always have those butterflies, but they're going to get through that tonight because this is like a big-time match here in the big-time crowd.
Ready to get underway. Grace Nelson back at the service line for the Jayhawks. Goes right at Lainey Choboy. Pulled back. It'll be a free ball opportunity as Riley sends it back over. Line goes to the right side. The opposite with the kill. There's Schneider, Ellie Schneider, the junior.
That was a really nice play served by Kansas. And again, anytime you get a free ball, you got to make the other team pay. And it's a great start for Kansas, first point. So I'm sure they've got butterflies.
Second bad pass by Nebraska, and the Huskers struggling with the first touch right now.
Yeah, this player right here, number one, is Grace Nelson, is thumping it.
She does have a heavy arm. Plays outside hitter.
High.
And welcome to those of you who've been watching Washington knock off Nebraska 10-2 in softball. We're here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center for spring volleyball, a new era for Nebraska. The Danny Busboom-Kelly era begins as Nebraska takes on Kansas in a spring match. You wouldn't know it that it was spring by looking here at the arena at the Devaney Sports Center. I'm Larry Putney, joined by the man who this arena is now named after, John Cook Arena, joined by Coach John Cook. There's Danny Busboom-Kelly in her first season. First match. Whoa. Just wide.
See, Larry, you're seeing a lot of nerves right now. Both teams are really uptight. You've seen 3 shank balls, a missed serve, a ball hitting the net. Both teams are, I mean, they're not used to this in the spring. They're getting ready for summer. And here we are, end of April, playing in a crowd like this.
And another serve that goes long. Into the game now to serve. Out of Firth, Nebraska, to North, here's Maisie Posinger.
Maisie will serve it in. But again, there's just a lot of nerves here. I don't care how long you've been playing, and it's still nerve-wracking when you're playing in front of a crowd like this.
Ryan Swanson with the kill down the line. Block pulled in a bit. She found the open floor.
Yeah, this is the challenge right now because neither team could really prepare for each other. Maybe Kansas has an advantage there because Nebraska has more returners, but it's a new Kansas team, so it'll take them a while to figure out tendencies.
Slide by Jackson goes off the block. Into the block. And the swing just long.
Nice job by Nebraska staying with that, trying to win that rally, keeping the pressure on and not letting them tool the block right there.
Harper Murray now with the serve. And the ace from Harper Murray, who led Nebraska in aces last year.
And Harper begged me for 2 years to jump serve.
To do that?
It'll be interesting to see if it continues in the fall, because the challenge is it takes away wears you down over the season and during a match.
Great up by Chilbroy. Push back outside. Just got the touch. Nope. Wide of the swing. No. Oh, there was a touch. Yeah. Now our R1 says definitely a touch and a kill for Landfair.
That's big-time volleyball right there by Nebraska. Great dig, great transition. Bergen putting the ball in a great spot right there.
Good pass by Chilbroy. And Jackson with her first kill.
Larry, this needs to be Andy Jackson's next evolution. Not trying to hit every ball hard, mixing it up, throwing it around. There's a great example. She just threw it to the corner. We always say you throw it to zone 1, the corner, it's a kill.
Huskers on a 4-0 run of the serve of Harper Murray. And the overpass is down for the dig kill for KU.
Hey, it's a side out.
That's right.
We used to say that's the best play in volleyball, just overpass it on the first one, because nobody's ever ready for it.
That ends a 4-0 run. I think Danny's challenged some of these players to try different things in the spring as well, which is why you're seeing Harper have an opportunity to jump serve. You see Skyler on the right. Even in practice, we saw a few more jump serves than what we might have seen before. That's wide.
Yeah.
Point for Nebraska.
Again, really nice rally there. Kansas has got to settle down a little bit. They're doing some really nice things. They're just finishing it with an error instead of trying to find a way to get a point out of it.
Andy Jackson now back to serve. In the middle, Rebecca Alec with the kill.
That was a great kill there by Rebecca Alec, because she had 2 blockers on her, and Bergen gave her a set where she could hit high over the block or off the block. That's really good execution. Kansas needs a side out here.
Tough serve there. Puts him out of system. Chased down by Bosinger, who could not keep it in. And point for Kansas on the kill.
I'd like to see Grace Nelson continue to do that. She's a little bit of an undersized outside hitter, and she's got to use that big block to her advantage, which she did right there. Hit high off the hands and went over everybody's head.
Reese Patak, the middle blocker, now serving for KU. Second touch is down. Bergen Riley.
You asked me in the pregame what makes her all Big Ten setter. She has unbelievable feel and vision right there. Nobody's blocking her. You can see she knows that middle just served back there. So the weaker defensive player, boom, kill.
Hit nearly 400 last year. Very judicious when she takes it down to the second touch. Here's Alec right in the middle. Her offensive has improved this spring.
But Rebecca's had a great spring, and again, she knows it's her senior year. She's been on a mission, and they've worked really hard on setting more middle. There's a great example right there.
There are the numbers for Riley in her first 2 years at Nebraska, both all-conference setter of the year. Never been done before. In fact, that award started in 2012, and she was the first ever freshman to win that award, Big Ten setter of the year. So first ever to go back-to-back in her freshman and sophomore years.
Kansas here is serving Taylor Lansbury, which she's an unproven passer.
Swing out of the back row is long. And another point for Nebraska. 5-point lead here for the Huskers in set one.
Again, another error by Kansas. Man, just keep that in and play some volleyball right now. But again, that's just trying a little bit too hard sometimes.
Huskers right now hitting above 500 in set one, 556. Oh. Harper, did she get the touch? There was no touch. And it's long from Harper Murray.
That's tough. She took a good swing there, but Bergen Riley made an unbelievable dig on a line shot with no block. Great swing by Kansas there.
Back to Skylar Pierce, her first swing. Good up by Choboy. Pushed outside. Here's Harper.
Kansas triple blocked her there.
Little confusion. Murray with the tip. Not down. Good up by Klein. Rolled into the block. And the kill by Ryan Swanson.
So there, Larry, there's a great example right there of Swanson keeping the ball in play, not trying to kill a ball. Let him play and let him rally, and she found a way to grease a kill in there in that block.
Grace Nelson is now back to serve. River Forest, Illinois, that serve is long. Third service error on the Jayhawks.
So Grace started off with 2 aces, and now she's finished with 2 errors.
Push behind. Point for Kansas off the block and out.
You know, as Matt's probably told his team, hey, our only chance is to serve as tough as we can. So they're probably taking some risks right now, and that's why you saw it. She had 2 aces right off, 2 errors right now, but she'll continue to stay aggressive. And here comes a short serve.
Harper Murray inside, just unloads. There's a little bit different look.
Yeah, so we call that a left in right there. And Andy had 2 blockers on her, so Harper came in on a gap, and that's something Danny likes to do. As a coach, she likes to move those hitters around. Now, you have to have a good pass to do it, but when it works, it's pretty good.
So will you see more set pieces? I mean, I would call that kind of a set piece, right?
Yeah, they're calling that. Now, the key is if they don't pass, they've got to be able to get out of that and go to an out system play. But when you pass, that makes it really difficult to defend. And Harper is so good at flying in there. And so you never know where to line up the block on her.
Reagan Burns back to serve. Good pass on the slide down the line. Jackson with the kill. Nebraska's middles with 4 kills here in set number 1. They have the lead, 15-11. The DBK era underway here in Lincoln. Nebraska with a lead back here at the Devaney Sports Center for spring volleyball. Has sold out John Cook Arena. It has officially been renamed. Signage goes up sometime this fall. That should be a lot of fun for you, Coach.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, to be honest with you. It's just if somebody asked me, how is it this weird? That is weird for me, but I'm excited to still be a part of this. And
I think maybe we should just call this whole place the Legends. It's named for Bob Devaney, Terry Pettit Court, and now John Cook Arena.
It's a great call, but I think it's great that we're honoring women's volleyball. That's the most important thing.
Ryan Swanson now back to serve. Out the back row. Good block touch there by KU. On the slide. Off the block and the kill. Nice slide there by KU. That's Patak, the sophomore.
So it's one of their first middle kills right there, but that was set up by a triple block on Harper Murray. They got a great touch in the transition, and she did a great job of hitting off Taylor Landfair.
Tough serve. Good pass by Choblet, back row. Harper again, nice up. Powered through, heavy swing from Nelson. Landfair shoves it down the line. Nelson again. Good up, nice pass, in system. Andy Jackson, what a great pass to put Nebraska in system for the slide.
Yeah, 2 great digs by Laney there, keep that thing alive, and really good rally by both teams, and Andy just found a way to kill. It was a little bit that middle blocker was late getting out there, and she found the little gap and hit it in there.
Another kill for Alec. How about that? 9 kills now here in set 1 for the middles.
Yeah, that's been one of the things when I talk to Danny. They want to run middle. They're forcing middle. They're going to try to do everything they can. They've got 2 great middles to set.
And 2 great setters to do it with.
Yeah.
Bergen Riley and Campbell Flynn. Haven't seen Campbell yet, but hopefully we'll have an opportunity. Don't believe that cleared the net. Point for Nebraska.
So Kansas here is in a little tough rotation right here with 2 hitters. They tried to go out of the back row there, but they had 2 hitters kind of in the same zone over there. So here we go.
Kristen Klein got him out of it.
Just got him out of it.
And she came from Oregon along with Coach Ulmer.
Yeah, and that's what great setters do when they sense they're not in there. She has to be an attacker to free up those blockers a little bit and make them, have to worry about her, so they just can't camp on the middle or the back row attacker.
One of the top setters last year in the Big Ten Conference for the Ducks. That was Klein.
Wow.
Swing again. There is Grace Nelson.
It's a really nice play there by Grace. Great set by Kristen Klein there. Really good tempo. And both these coaches are trying to go fast right now. They're trying to play with speed.
Nelson played in just 15 matches last year as a freshman. Hit 182, but you can see the role and how it's going to increase in the fall based on what we've seen here early. Right back to Nelson, out of system, and Nelson with the out of system kill.
Grace is taking over here. She's gone line. She just went sharp cross court. Just tooled high off the block. Really, really nice sequence there for her.
Timeout here in Lincoln. KU back in it, just 2 down, 18-16 in set 1. not just the DBK era that begins. Another era begins at KU as Ray Bouchard stepped down after 30 years. And Matt Ulmer moves from Eugene to Lawrence to take over as the KU head coach. We had a great conversation with him this morning. What a really bright young coach.
Yeah, I've always been impressed with Matt, and he does a really good job training his teams and gets everything out of them. But he's excited to be at Kansas. As you know, it was a family move, and he's a Midwest guy. His wife's from the Midwest, so I think he's pretty excited about Kansas and what they want to do with volleyball.
Well, he mentioned he could be a sleeping giant down there, right? I mean, volleyball is a hotbed down there in that KC area. A lot of talent. It's grown, and when you can have that kind of recruiting base locally, right?
Yeah, it's huge. And now that'll be his challenge because everybody's recruiting Kansas now in Kansas City area, Missouri. So, but Kansas is a great school. Lawrence is a great college town, and
good swing again. Great up by Choboy. Goes back over. Out of the back row. Swanson gets the kill.
So Swanson there did a great job of beating Laney she used her wrist and cut the ball right there. So if you hit hard at Laney, she's going to dig it. So you got to take a little off, move it, and so Laney has to move for it, and that's what created the kill. We've got a great game going here.
Yep.
First game.
Klein with the serve. Good pass, push back, right into the block. There's Nelson again.
All right, be interesting to see what Bergen does here. She's got Skylar on the left and Taylor on the right. I'm guessing if she gets a pass, she'll go middle.
There it is.
Oh, great dig.
Fantastic. Right back to her.
That's great. Awesome.
Same swing.
Right there is a great example of building confidence in your hitters when you go back to them after they get dug.
Point Nebraska.
So, Larry, I think it's interesting. Skylar Pierce started at opposite position or the right side position. And Ryan Hunter's been playing there because she's a natural lefty. So I wonder if they're giving her a look at that position. We actually trained her on the right last year as a backup in case Merritt got hurt. And so she did some really nice things. So this might be a debut for her to see what she can do.
Pierce redshirted last year at her freshman year out of Lenexa, Kansas. Speaking of talent in that area. And there is once again another kill. That's 10 kills now for Nebraska's middles. And Becca with another one.
Yeah, again, a really nice hit right there. That is great execution. Rebecca's seeing it and moving it.
Good out. Ran the middle again.
There it is.
Boy, they are forcing that at every opportunity. There's another one for Andy Jackson.
That's all set up by Laney Choboy right there. That dig right there. I mean, Bergen didn't have to move. So if you do that a lot, you're going to get a lot of kills like that. By the way, how many digs does Laney have already?
Defense to offense. Let's take a look at Nebraska's middles and specifically Andy Jackson and what she's done thus far. We'll look that up for you.
Okay.
But Andy just so explosive.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, her and Bergen have been playing together now for 2 years, so this is what you're seeing. This
they had a couple of summers together as well, right?
Yeah. On the USA program.
Right. 7 kills. I'm sorry, 7 digs.
7 digs for Laney. I mean, that's 7 digs in one game. I mean, you do that, you're going to be National Player of the Year.
That's right. Pretty good start. There's a look at the numbers for Andy Jackson, who's hitting 800. Last year, hit above 430.
Yeah, it looks like Andy's got some new jewelry on. I wonder if she has an NIL deal.
I think they all do, don't they?
This is a great test for Kansas right here. They need a big side out.
So Nebraska 2 away from set number 1. Choboy will serve for the Huskers out of the timeout. And the block, Skylar Pierce and Andy Jackson teaming up on the block.
So Larry, I don't know if we'll get a replay here, but Laney went with a change-up serve short, and it kind of messed up Kansas's rhythm. And anyway, that set got left a little inside. There was nothing that hitter could do.
Set point of the first. Pierce. Good dig by Nelson.
Great set by Kristen Klein right there.
Set here's Harper. Murray with the thumb down. Good angle there. And Pierce set a little outside the antenna. Not much she could do with that.
Kansas really hung tough there. A couple great digs. Again, they kept that ball in play. And Laney Choboy now 8 digs.
Wow. Set point number 2, and that will do it. So the Huskers win set number 1. Spring volleyball here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. It is sold out once again. Standing room only. It's just like any other day of volleyball in the Cornhusker State. Nebraska winners in set number 1, 25-20 over the Jayhawks.
Oh, thanks.
Now back in 2005, Nebraska made it to the Final Four. In 2006, when Danny Busboom Kelly moved to libero, the Huskers won a national title. You're second. That was a fun conversation with Danny, wasn't it? Telling her she's going to libero.
Well, I mean, you know the story on that. I can't repeat all of it on air, but she was not happy. But it might have been one of the defining moments of her life in understanding what a team player has to do, what a leader has to do, what it means to be a team player.
Yep.
And I'm sure that has helped her in her coaching career going through that.
Our State Farm State of Success is the rise of that Louisville program under Danny Busboom Kelly. She took over coach a program in 2017 that was 12-18, and in 1 year made the NCAA tournament, won the ACC, and had over 24 wins.
Yeah,
I mean, what a turnaround.
Yeah, it's one of the best turnarounds ever, and then getting, I think she's been to 3 Final Fours in 8 years.
Yeah.
So Larry, we got Nebraska's now gone to a couple different players. Ryan Hunter and Tiara Sigler are in, and
Olivia Mauck at libero.
Yeah, and like Danny told us in pregame that she wanted to play everybody and probably would play 4 different lineups. It looks like Kansas has kind of stayed with what they're doing.
I think the message from Danny was just hope nobody reads too much into the lineups that she's putting on the floor, really giving everyone an opportunity to shine here in the spring. On the slide, Alec with the kill. Great shot just inside the back line.
Alex,
wow, say long.
They called that out. I think here comes the green card.
Now, you were never influenced with the green card by Jalen, were you?
Jalen's got eagle eyes. he sees everything. Yeah, they overruled it here. They didn't even challenge it.
Yeah.
I think Danny at the beginning of the match wanted to start seniors. So all 3 seniors started. Maisie played, who did a really good job, passed grade. And I always ask him about stats. And Maisie's had a great spring statistically.
It was interesting when, Danny said all 3 in terms of passing, even the freshman, Carrie Leinbach, right in there in terms of their passing numbers in the spring.
Yeah, it's when you get to watch Leslie Rodriguez all the time, you become a better passer.
That's a great point. Great little shot there. Boy, Harper can really disguise that well.
Yeah, it's almost an impossible play to dig. And a great adjustment by Harper because she's been having trouble getting kills, and her game is to give you a different look every time.
First look at Tariah Sigler from the service line there for Nebraska. Big swing by Ryan Hunter. Boy, she hits a heavy ball.
She does. This is really great to see her because she's basically a little over a year off an ACL injury and has worked really hard to come back. And now she gets to play in front of this crowd against a great team.
Yeah, injured in one of the biggest tournaments too in the country.
Yeah,
in that Triple Crown
down in Kansas City.
Yeah. And you were saying yesterday a lot of talk in the gym down there was how dominant Ryan Hunter was, and she looked like the best player out there.
Yeah, everybody was saying that in the first couple days. She was the best player in the gym. Her team was doing really well. She was from North Carolina, and you know, it's heartbreaking when those guys get hurt like that. And but again, this is really rewarding to see her come out here and play. And man, she took a big swing for a freshman on her first swing in this crowd. There's a nice help block there by both those guys on the middle. And why they're challenging here, Larry, I think if Kansas wants to push Nebraska a little bit here, Schneider's got to keep getting balls and set some more balls and get some kills. Because Nebraska's all over their middles. They're committing or fronting their middles and really taking that part away from Kansas. So Schneider's going to be one-on-one back there if they can get her the ball and she can kill it. As you just saw right there, I mean, that middle had two blockers on her and a good pass.
4 hits was the call, challenged by Matt Ulmer. Difficult to tell in that replay that we saw if it was touched.
All right, we need to have the stopwatch here. Good, he's moving quick. I was on the rules committee, Larry, and this is one of our pet peeves. Hey, see it, make a call, let's go.
Get in and out.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well, I like that. We had a couple of 3-minute reviews last year. So the call does stand. And confirmed, so it was.
We actually had one of the longest reviews of the year. You may not have done that match, but I think it was like 11, 12 minutes or something. Yeah, because they give you all those stats on the rules committee.
Sure.
It's like Nebraska.
The serve is long. Point, Kansas.
Serve is long.
You know, the good thing about when you miss serves, it's better to miss them long because you got a chance somebody might play it or it might drop in as opposed to missing the net. And both these teams are attacking hard on their serves and they're keeping it from going in the net. So they're doing a good job with that.
Another aggressive serve, and I think it's one of the things that Matt Ulmer wanted to see. He wanted his team to be, said he'd rather see mistakes going 100% than mistakes into the net or into a block. Like, he wanted to see him be aggressive.
Yeah, they're being aggressive. Now you might tell them, do everything aggressive except serve, and let's get it in that court.
That's right. Out with the serve there. Second touch taken down. Good kill there by Klein. Klein out of Stanfield, North Carolina, Hickory Grove Christian, played for the Ducks under Coach Matt Ulmer. She was on the all Big Ten freshman team last year. This is just her sophomore year at KU.
She did a really nice job last year as a freshman.
Off the top of the block, and Murray with another kill.
So there's a great example of a good pass. It's a very fast tempo set, and that middle just can't get there and get over. So and Harper just hits right off the hands for an easy kill. That's what speed does when you can pass the ball.
Saw that same tandem too, with Andy running in front, Harper coming behind and getting the kill.
This is something else. This is I think that might have been their first back row kill of the night right there. Anytime you can kill the ball in the middle of the court, it's going to open up everything for the outside. So if Kansas can continue to do that, set their right side some more.
Off to take, and the ace. Good roll. Heidi Devers out of Olathe, Kansas. St. James Academy, just her sophomore year.
St. James, the powerhouse high school, won many national championships, state championships. A lot of great players have come out of there.
Well, she had as much action as any freshman last year at KU.
Back serving.
Harper Murray now back to serve once again.
So Harper goes with the float serve this time.
Rock with the up. Gonna scramble here, try to keep it alive, and Nebraska can't send it back over, and KU gets the out-of-system point.
Great effort there by both teams. That's playing hard. Relentless. Sometimes as coaches we'll say winning a play like that might almost be worth 2 points.
Yeah.
Both teams were just playing all out to get that.
Wow, what a swing from Jackson, another kill. What makes her so good? Not only that she's athletic, John, but what makes Andy so good on that slide?
She's very quick. See how fast she got on that ball? Her arm is quick, her jump is quick. So, if the block's at all late, it's going to be an easy kill. And that's a tough matchup for Grace Nelson on Andy. That might be something they look at, maybe get Swanson on her. She's a more physical player.
At some point, you ask her outside, go early? Like when you see Andy go early?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And Danny has speeded up. They're speeding up the tempo of that slide behind. And it creates a lot of stress. But again, it all starts with a pass.
Yeah.
And for them to do that.
Grace Nelson with the serve. Carrie Leinbach, the freshman in there. DS, good pass.
Well,
and a point for the Huskers. Leinbach out of right here in Lincoln Lutheran High School. Won a few state titles.
Yeah. In the practices that I've watched, I've been very impressed with her. When you watch them in high school, they all look good, but when she got in with this group, she's been very impressive.
I think maybe that was what surprised me the most. Danny said all 4 of those DS's, liberos, their numbers were very, very similar in terms of passing and first touch in spring. I think it speaks volumes of Leinbach.
Right, and I think that's a real strength for Nebraska. They basically have 4 really good liberos. It'd be interesting to see who ends up starting. And I want to ask the question, why that, when we get to that point, why did that one person get the start? What was the difference? It's going to be a really great story. Great play by Kansas there. Great dig by Olivia Mott.
Hunter tried to put it over the block.
This is actually a really nice set here. Ryan's got to think, I got to be a little more aggressive as opposed to trying to finesse.
Out down the line. Good dig sent back over. Hunter. And net violation called on Kansas. You can't see the athleticism there from Ryan Hunter. Not only does she get up, but has that quick arm swing. I think this young lady here, Taraya, has maybe as fast an arm swing, or it hits as heavy as a ball as I've seen.
Yeah, I think
just thumps it.
She reminds me of when Michaela Fecky was here. Just that sound, that thump. And
great shot down the line.
Great up. Yeah, great up. Another great up. These guys are starting to play some D.
A system swing here. Not down from Swanson. Hunter got it.
Wow.
Big swing Ryan Hunter.
I think another story for Nebraska will be who starts that opposite position, because they do have another player coming in May, Ali Czech, who's also a lefty.
And Ali played 4 years at Baylor, proven commodity, two-time Big Ten.
Big 12, yeah, Big
Yep.
12.
Yep.
Okay, there's our kill for Schneider there. That's what they got to continue to do. It'll open everything else up for them.
So now Burns back to serve. Huskers with a 3-point lead here in the second. Serve is wide and a bit long.
So Kansas trying to serve Sigler, freshman. Let's go after her.
Good job to chase that down by Klein. Here is Harper. Good dig. Nelson in the back. Left-handed tip. Huskers keep it alive. Sigler the buck set. And Murray just wide.
It was a big swing right there. She went for it. Again, great job by Kansas. Making them play, make them have to earn it instead of giving it to them.
Same swing, and that time effective by Harper Murray.
There, that's just mano-a-mano. Murray against their libero White. This is mano-a-mano. Here's my heat. See if you can dig it.
Pulled inside that block.
Yeah.
Great set.
Yeah, great set. It's just two players competing.
Bach with the upset out. Murray rolls it over. Opportunity here. Bergen to Jackson.
Yeah, nice rally by both teams, but that matchup, Grace Nelson on Andy, is not fair.
Well, the Young Bucks getting into the action for the Huskers. Nebraska with a 5-point lead here in set number 2. Hunter pounds it away. And Sigler likes what she sees. Hey, some Supernovas in the house. Professional Volleyball Federation. Supernovas up in Omaha in first place. Allie Batenhorst out there with, there's Reagan Cooper as well, daughter of former Nebraska defensive back Reggie Cooper. She's a former KU grad.
Yeah, that's really cool about this. They got a couple KU, Kelsey Paynes there, another KU grad. Had a great career at Kansas.
There was a touch, and point for Kansas.
That was a really nice kill by Paytech. Just, you can't stop that.
Hey, here's this freshman class you brought in, Coach. That's an impressive group of 6 athletes.
They're still freshmen.
I saw Campbell Flynn in practice. Boy, tempo in terms of set, like she gets it out there in a hurry. And it comes out of her hand so smooth.
Yeah, she's a special player. Yeah. I think she's going to force Bergen to go to another level.
Well, what do you say? Iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
Service error for the Jayhawks.
How many total service errors we got so far?
Service errors on Nebraska, 4 and 9 for the Jayhawks.
We're only in game 2, 9 service errors. I mean, that's 9 kills. That's, Nebraska may not have much more kills than that.
You might be right. Oh, great slide. And once again, Patak right through the block. Just did not close fast enough.
Yeah, well, it's that, and then you've got a freshman out there blocking. And to me, the hardest transition going from high school to college is blocking, because everything's happening faster. The players are more physical. So Sigler's going to have to learn, how to block. And again, there's Andy on Grace Nelson. That's going to go on all night if they pass the ball. It's just, like I said, it's not fair, and it's a tough matchup, really tough matchup.
I feel like Andy Jackson's a tough matchup for just about anybody.
You're right about that, but you want to give somebody a chance to try to slow her down.
Nelson. Alec closed late, got a touch on it. Wow. How about that? That D set for Jackson out of the back.
That's going to make the top 10 highlight tonight.
Oh, this will be fun.
That was an impressive play.
Look at.
Yeah.
What does she touch? 10, 10, 10, 11?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
That's
in the middle the other way. That's what KU needs to get going. The kill there by INO.
Back serving for the Jayhawks, number 1, Grace Nelson.
So again, what happened here is the chess game, and because Schneider got a couple kills, now all of a sudden the middles aren't going with the middle, and they found the gap, and easy kill for Kansas. So it's that chess game going on in matchups. You know what you can do, and again, passing the ball gives the setter the option to see that and run it.
Tough serve and the ace. Bergen Riley, 6-point lead for Nebraska.
Yeah. So there was another one of the change-up serves right there, and when you execute that as a passer, it's like a change-up in baseball. You think it's a fastball, but it just drops and slows, and that's what she did, and here she goes again. Again, another great job. Klein's doing a really good job right now running the offense. Very, very impressed with her choices and decision making.
Ryan White now back to serve. White, the transfer from Oregon State, was recruited to Oregon by Coach Matt Ulmer. Went to Oregon State, now transfers to KU. Good up there by White, but nope, it's long and out.
Boy, Rebecca's having a great match tonight. Nebraska's getting in a pretty nice rhythm siding out right now.
Siding out at 75%, Coach.
Yeah.
Great number. Swing there wide, no touch. Point for Nebraska, Schneider.
So I see Schneider say, hey, it's my bad. And what Kansas is trying to do is they're trying to go faster tempo. That was a pretty good set by Klein, but it's happening very fast to the hitter. And you're going to see if we're going to see errors like that. If she can't get her feet to the ball to get that, usually creates an error. But that's something that you keep staying with it. It can be pretty good in the fall.
Huskers lead in set number 2, 22-15. Happy birthday. Big Harper Murray fan there. Andy Jackson has a few fans. She has 8 kills, 9 swings, no errors, and how about the hitting percentage? .889. That's impressive.
That's very impressive. I mean, that'd be impressive just in warm-ups hitting that.
Right, yeah.
But
yeah.
Herberg and Riley are, I mean, they're in sync with each other.
Sigler with the serve. There's the kill. That's what you were talking about. Get Schneider involved in the opposite.
Yeah, again, a great decision by Klein setting.
She's out of Metairie, Louisiana. Been to Metairie, just outside of New Orleans. Great oysters.
Oh, really?
Oh, great oyster. Murray rolls it.
Wow.
There's a snap swing by Swanson with the kill.
Really nice play right there. Yeah, they got a nice dig out of that. Klein set tempo out there and one-on-one.
And 11 service errors for the Jayhawks. Had 5 in set number 1 and lost by 5, 25-20. They have 6 and down by 6 right now.
Yeah. That's what coaches say, Larry. It's serve and pass, serve and pass.
Nobody ever got tired of hearing you say that, Coach. On the slide, tried line. Is there a touch? No touch. Point for Nebraska. So set point here in set number 2. Nebraska trying to go up 2-0 in this spring contest with the Jayhawks. Olivia Mouth will serve. Right through the block of Harper Murray. Good heavy swing there by Patak.
Nice job by them coming back and setting her again.
Patak, all Big 12. First team.
She's an exceptional, her and Andy are 2 exceptional slide hitters.
Good pass by Sigler. Harper inside, great up. Burns with that up for KU. Malk out of system. Harper Murray, got it. Smart shot by Harper Murray. Took a little off it, little top spin. Just inside the back line, and Nebraska rolls in set number 2. They win it by 7. The DBK era underway, and Nebraska on top of KU, 2 sets to none.
Larry, you got to give Olivia Mock credit there. She put Harper in the perfect spot to hit whatever she wanted.
And here it is. Harper Murray closes it out. Huskers on top, 2 sets to none.
The University of Nebraska would like to welcome and salute our Huskers.
Volleyball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Been a busy few days for Coach John Cook. Traveled out to rope, did some roping lessons today at Husker games. This was at Memorial Stadium earlier. Yeah, successful. Look at Coach. Original Cornhusker Cowboy, and then hustles over here for another part of the Husker games, which is this volleyball match in the spring with Kansas. And then, of course, Coach threw on the headsets and making his debut. The debut here for you, Coach. Your debut.
Oh.
Right? I mean, it's been a busy day, few days.
Yeah.
So when you jumped on the plane to head up there yesterday, where were you going?
We flew to Ord, Nebraska to go to the Pitzer, they call it the preview. So you go look at all the horses that are going to be in the auction today.
Wow.
So
been back today to do some roping lessons. And
no, we flew back yesterday.
Because
I had we had that event in here last night.
That's right, because
the auction.
Yeah, the auction for a roping lesson with John Cook went for $20,000.
Yeah,
and we're going to split it. Okay, I'm glad you laughed at that.
It doesn't go to me. It was,
I know.
They raised $350,000 last night. Yeah.
Hey, there's Dylan Raiola. He was actually at the Husker games. Were you there when he threw the?
Yes, I was standing right there. I saw the football go right through the. You're talking about today, and the threw him in. There it is.
Here it is.
Unbelievable.
40 yards out. How about this?
Unbelievable.
Oh.
That's got to be an ESPN top 10 tonight.
Oh yeah, that's. We now have 2 ESPN top 10 moments. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I want to see if he can rope, because none of those other guys could rope. They couldn't. He had no clue. They didn't even know which end of the steer to rope.
Oh, there's Dylan here at the match this evening.
He's got his sister and brothers here. It was a great article they wrote about him. I mean, he loves being around sports. He loves being around people, and I just think that's why they love him in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, Nebraskans love that, and I think the Nebraska players do a great job of that. Matt Ulmer told us he wants to model Kansas after what we're doing here, and that'll be one of the things, is getting those players out with those in the community and with the fans.
Said it 2 or 3 times. He said, you know, you think about 2 of the most successful programs in the Midwest. What do they have in common? Fan base who are loyal and show up for a spring match like this and sell out the place, right?
And Larry, the other thing is, it wasn't like they gave away free tickets or sold them for $2 or something. They actually raised the prices more than the fall.
That's right. Well, it's a revenue generator, Coach. You've done a nice job.
So again, I want to continue to put praise on Kristen Klein. A great set to Schneider again. Now they can serve the ball a little in the court more. Reduce those errors. I mean, they can make a match out of this.
Good pass by Landfair. Campbell Flynn in there to serve, to set for Nebraska. For your first look at the freshman setter for the Huskers. 6'3", great hands. Gatorade National Player of the Year was Campbell Flynn. Good pass. Was behind.
Woo. So they've got 3 freshmen out there right now.
that was pretty impressive. Freshman to freshman right there.
Laney's back at Laney Choboy's back at libero, and then Olivia Mock now goes to DS for Ryan Hunter.
Well, she's only had a few swings, but every one has been impressive from Ryan Hunter. Ran the middle, good tip right in front of Mauk for the kill. Once again, that's Patak.
Now Kansas's hitting percentage just continues to go up because, again, Klein is doing a really good job of running the offense. And here's one thing I really like what Nebraska's doing. They're taking their outside hitter out, so they always have a back row hitter not passing and serve receive. So that is going to make them a very difficult team to defend, always the threat of that somebody coming out of the back row down the middle. But it also means your other outside hitter has to pass, and right there they serve Sigler. She didn't pass it very well, and they lost the point, but they're going to...
What did you see? You see Sigler with the kill. She powered that through the block. And a nice set by Campbell Flynn.
You see, Kansas didn't get the ball on her, so it gave her a free run up, and Campbell set her great, and really nice kill.
Served by Sigler. Just a bit long.
Point, Kansas. At the line serving for the Jayhawks number 4, Ryan Swanson.
And the second skill, tough for freshmen, is serving and under pressure. It's another adjustment. There's more sense of urgency at this level to serve tough and in. And so freshmen tend to press a little bit. Like Harper Murray would be a great example. Her freshman year, I mean, she had like over 100 errors or something, and I think she like had a third of that last year. So it just takes time for the freshmen to, as they grow, to learn how to be great blockers, what it takes to block, and what it takes to be a great server.
And then how do you get them to kind of get out of their own head, right, when they're young?
It's repetitions and getting them to breathe and calm down, because they're pumped up down there. And serving, you want to stay relaxed. Yeah, here we go. Kansas.
Great slide there by Patak, right on target from Kristen Klein.
Number 19, Molly McCarthy.
A good push. She disguises that well too.
Yeah.
You know, I know yoga became a big part of your training at Nebraska. Is that one of the reasons? Is kind of that mindfulness and calming of the mind?
Yes. They've got to learn how to control their emotions and their stress level. And these guys are high octane athletes. So when they get too wound up, it's not good for volleyball. Just like a golfer, they get too wound up. They're not going to hit the golf ball very well. There's this fine line of staying relaxed and aggressive.
Tough serve there by Flynn. I was also impressed with Flynn's serve. Yeah. There's the kill for Taylor Landfair.
And when you see a kill like that, just like we saw at the end of game 2, that's the libero setting from a very tough spot on the left side of the court. The angle is really difficult for that hitter, but if they put it in the right spot, it gives them a chance to kill the ball. It's another great swing.
Around that triple block on the slide there. There's Iono.
Ryan.
And then Ryan Hunter.
Well, there's a veteran play by Ryan Hunter. Tight set. Use the block.
Tools it right off.
Yeah, just that is a big time play for a freshman.
Another tough serve by Flynn. Is it back over? Great up. One-handed up there by Kirsch, the DS. Hunter tried to push it to the back and did.
Yeah.
And the kill, Ryan Hunter.
Really nice play by Ryan Hunter. A tough set, but she did something with it. Didn't just tip it in.
Checking into the game, 14 to number 22, Ryan.
Into the game, Ryan White. In a DS role. She was wearing the libero jersey earlier.
So there's the Bic. There's our back row attack.
Swanson, 27 sets last year. Really thought she could be a dominant attacker, says Matt Ulmer. Ulmer said he felt like he had the pieces. First touch, second touch, they kind of have it covered. Need to be maybe a little more terminal at times. What a swing there by Taylor Landfair.
Again, I want to give Kristen Klein a lot of credit. I mean, we played him last year, and she pretty much just set left side like typical freshman. Left side, left side, left side. She's really has improved and is doing a great job running the offense.
Good up, Joe Boy. Sigler swipes it into the block and gets the kill. Good heady play there by Sigler.
Again, Laney Choiboy can dig balls like nobody else.
She brings a certain amount of energy and attitude to the floor too, right?
Yes, she does. And you know, Larry, one thing I always gauge when Nebraska does beach in the spring, we always say, hey, if you could pick anybody in the team to be your beach partner, who would it be? And every year, everybody chooses Laney because of what you just said right there. Her attitude, her effort, how hard she plays.
I think you might have said early last year, you felt like when she was on the floor, she was worth 3 points. Just the energy that she brought.
Yeah, and she may not even touch the ball, and she'll be worth points. You know, I just think that's what great players do, and her energy, and she pushes other people to be great.
Sigler pounds away, and a kill for Tariah Sigler.
So those two also played on the USA team last year, Sigler and Campbell Flynn.
Yeah.
And they have a great connection. You can see that is really fast tempo right there.
Yeah. That is out to the pin in a hurry. 10 kills for Nebraska's freshman.
All right, Becca Alex get his chance to serve.
Back row. Landfair, did she get the touch? No,
no touch.
Just long.
Back serving for Kansas, number 3, Reagan Burns.
Reagan Burns back to serve now for KU, and look at this crowd here in set number 3, spring match, Saturday night, Lincoln, Nebraska. And how about Ryan Hunter? 11 kills for the freshman. Between the two freshmen, Sigler and Ryan Hunter.
Is that what they have already? 11 kills?
Wow. Between the two.
I mean, it's a very talented freshman class from Nebraska.
7 kills for Ryan Hunter.
Yeah, that was great tempo, fast tempo by Kansas there. Ryan Swanson got on really fast and caught Andy being late, and that's where you get that dribble that goes down the net. They're just not there. They're not quite over. And if you hit it, we tell hitters that block's move and hit into it because you're going to get those type of kills.
On the slide, good up by Nelson. Ball opportunity. Flynn just misconnects.
Point, Kansas.
Just a misconnection, right? That's a freshman setter and timing.
So one of the things Nebraska's been working on is a tighter slide and a wide slide. Of course, Bergen would set it the right spot. Campbell's probably just think it's always going out, would be my guess. Really good serve by
What a
Kansas there. Yeah.
And Sigler just paints the line on the kill. How about that? 8,592. It's a sellout for the spring match with KU.
Kansas is challenging the in-call on the play.
It's mind-boggling to me just for a spring match, but look at where volleyball's going. The Big Ten's televising this. I mean,
it's call was ball out. Point
volleyball
Nebraska.
is a booming sport right now across the country.
Yeah, all you have to do is look at the growth within the Big Ten Conference and then expand it beyond that to the PVF and multiple professional opportunities now for the ladies to be able to stay in the States and not have to go overseas.
Yeah.
Here's a look there. KU is challenging the in-out. Is that in or out?
Ooh.
That's tough.
It's going to be really tough to see. So you guys, when you do TV, you guys like to predict it too, right?
Yeah.
See, the problem is with this, so that's not a super high-speed camera. So the shadow, it's really hard to tell.
And then you and I are watching it on a 10-inch monitor too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't. That looks in there, but the other angle looked out. So it's the blurriness. You can see how blurry that. Well, I don't know if the viewers can see, but it's blurry.
Thought you painted the line. We'll see.
Yeah.
We have a call upcoming.
Yeah. If you had to bet, Larry, what would you
Ritual
bet?
call was ball in, call stands. Kansas will lose the challenge.
Nice call, Larry. Larry, you're 1 for 1.
There you go.
2025.
Let's
1 for 1.
Let's keep track because they'll be 1 for about 100 by the time the season's over.
I'm gonna get a little walkie-talkie with Jalen and just say, "Hey, Jalen, what is it?"
So the call stands. Key there stands, not confirmed, so no reason to overturn it.
Bottom line, that's a great hit by Sigler right there.
Sigler now back to serve. On the slide, got it through the block, and another kill by Patak.
So, Larry, I know I keep talking about Kristen Klein. That was a very elite set she just made right there. Off the net, low pass. She set that thing back perfectly for a kill. Was it Patak that got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, and that no touch.
Nope, we got it.
I'm going to say Nebraska into the net, point for KU. Forearm rubbed against the net. So back to serve is Ryan Swanson. 14 all here in set number 3.
Nice serve by Swanson.
Tip, good hustle, kept it alive. Sent back over, smart shot there by Klein as the ball hung above the net.
So, Larry, let me ask you, how many serves has Kansas missed this game, Game 3?
And not many. Not many.
Have they missed any?
They haven't, no.
Yeah. Now, look at the score.
Yep. 15-14, KU with the lead. John Cook, his debut in the color commentary chair. And, hey, Coach, fans love it. Look at that.
That's pretty cool. How do you guys pull that up? What are we on? Are we on social media here on this thing?
This is X. There was something up on X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I vote for John Cook. I would agree.
Okay, well, they have to call Sue Marriott. She's the boss.
All right. That's good stuff. Thanks for all your tweets. That's social media, big part anymore. You have any TikToks planned, or have you retired the TikTok along with the coaching?
Harper and I are going to do another one, but we're going to make sure we get a really good one. So we've committed to it. We're waiting for the right opportunity and the right one.
Got that question from Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
I like your TikToks up there.
Yeah, we did make a couple others, but Merritt's not here to approve them, so they got nixed.
Yeah. Hey, July 10th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Hey, scan that QR code or register right now at btnbig10k.com to be part of the Big 10K or 5K race and tailgate party. On the slide, and the block. Did it touch the block? It did.
Yeah. It's a great save by Rebecca Alec there. Nebraska's doing a really good job of managing tough plays. What do you think on that replay?
No, definitely a touch.
Yeah.
This won't take long.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-0 here, Coach.
All right.
Original call was no touch by Nebraska. Kansas challenging Nebraska to touch off the block.
And I would imagine there are times when players genuinely feel like they either did touch or didn't touch, and they feed you wrong information.
Yeah.
Right, because they're in the moment and adrenaline.
Right.
They don't always realize it.
Yeah, most of the time they know. I thought the up official called the touch because it's really hard for the lines person to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like went right off her elbow.
Yep.
Maybe they're.
Yeah, this was a Kansas challenge, so it was called a touch. KU challenging, saying they didn't believe there was a touch. But this should not take long.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't trust those players yet.
Right.
I always learned my lessons early. When I didn't trust him and I lost, I'm like, okay, I'm trusting you the rest of the year. Oh, that's right off her elbow.
Yeah. And then brushed the antenna before it went down out of bounds as well. (17-16) here in set number 3, and it does stand. Nebraska gets the point.
You know, Larry, it's always interesting. What do you talk about in these challenges when you're just standing there, you're waiting? I'm always curious what other teams do because I never knew what to say. We just, and they might start talking about, something else, not even volleyball related. Yep. It's just because what else do you do?
Yeah.
But
I always like the team dances during the timeouts. So remember those?
I don't remember.
The challenge, you didn't watch it. We are playing 4 sets regardless here in this spring match. So even if Nebraska were to win this, we have one more set coming your way. Great set by Flynn. What a kill. Wow, that was great all the way around. The set and the kill by Hunter.
Ryan Hunter is blossoming tonight because it hasn't been that way in practice. blossoming.
Yep. Could just be a gamer. You've had those players before.
I just think it takes so much time to get your confidence back from an injury and not, you know, she hasn't played in a year really. I mean, this is her second match in a year.
There are the numbers for the two freshmen. Hunter with 8 kills, Sigler with 5. Good pass on the slide, Alec.
Wow, great up, great up. Got to put away those overpasses. Let's see what happens here.
And the back row, Sigler got it. The bit to Sigler.
If we get the replay here, you'll see Ryan Hunter went on a quick attack. Rebecca Alec was in the B gap over there, pulled the middle, and then here comes Sigler down the middle. That's 4 hitters to defend right there.
Great push.
Yeah, really good. That's a lead right there.
And there's Becca Alec with the kill, but it overshadows that set by Klein. What a great push. And timeout taken by the Jayhawks as Nebraska has opened up a 3-point advantage here in set number 3. We are in set 3. Huskers lead it 2-0. Rebecca Alec takes us to break. Well, not only was she fantastic on the floor and patrolling the back row for Nebraska, but outstanding person. She wins the AAU James E. Sullivan Award. That's for an athlete at any level, Coach. Olympic level, college level, just high-level athlete, and first ever Husker to win that award.
Yeah, I really thought she deserved to be National Player of the Year. This made up for it because this is the Heisman for amateur sports, and she had Cooper Flagg there with her, and the running back from Boise State,
Austin Chenty,
and to win that. And what's great is she just gave every short girl in America hope to be great, because and I think it's her personality and how she played the game, and she had such a great career over 4 years. I mean, there was really never any letdown. And to win that award is amazing, and it's huge and great for Nebraska. Another thing to put on the trophy case, but really happy for Lexi, because I'm sure she was shocked when she won.
Just the run of liberos that you have had in this program, and maybe even going back to Danny.
Danny, yeah.
Into the block on the swing by Schneider, and point for the Huskers. Andy Jackson with the block.
So here's where we're getting down to the end of these games now, and now it's who's going to make a couple plays, and you can't give up a little 2-point run or something. Then it's really tough to come back.
I think that was the difference, at least in my mind, last year in your battles with Wisconsin.
Yeah.
For so many years, you got late, and it was 23-23, and the Badgers found a way to get it done late. Last year, that script completely flipped.
Yeah, that's a great call by you, and that's why we always say you got to win games by 2 points.
Yeah.
It's probably going to come down to 2 points against good, great teams. So we'll see here if Kansas can get a 2-point run, maybe. Oh wow!
About that.
Wow.
Sigler with the bump set, and her freshman counterpart Ryan Hunter puts it away.
Wow.
That was dynamite.
Kansas just turned around like, what just happened right here? Swanson's like, what just happened? 3 blockers.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Okay. Great reaction.
Great swing, great dig. Come on.
Swing at it, right?
Yeah.
It's a tip. Boy, good set.
Great transition play by the Kansas, running that middle. Is that Patek again?
I believe it
got
was
that
Patak.
kill.
Yep.
Patak, yep. Got that kill.
23-20. And White back to serve. Good pass. Swiped into the blocks it back over. Good run in the middle and got the kill. That little 31 set there, not really quick. So we are at match point here in the third. 24-20, Nebraska looking for the sweep. Either way, we will have one more set. It's a guaranteed four-setter here between KU and Nebraska. Attack hanging right there, got the block. Back to serve now goes Ryan Swanson. Second match point for the Huskers. And the serve is long. And Nebraska in the sweep. That is 15 service errors on KU, 5 in each set. We've got more volleyball coming your way. One more set. A guaranteed four-setter here in this spring matchup between KU and Nebraska. Huskers take that one 25-21. Well, the Danny Busboom-Kelly era has begun. Of course, she was a player back here from 2003 to 2006, won that national title as a player. Then an assistant coach, was a national champ in 2015, moved on to become the head coach of Louisville and completely turned that program around. And then on January 29th, comes back home. Becomes the fourth head coach in program history. What a run for... And there are the first three matches of her. Who would have done this to Danny Busboom-Kelly? Who would have scheduled this for her first three matches, Coach?
I don't know. It's probably our athletic director, you know. or we just threw a bunch of names in there and picked them out.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. How did Terry Pettit hand it off to you? Who were your first three opponents? I bet it wasn't Penn Stanford.
I don't remember.
But 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here we go. We just so happen to have them.
Oh, we do.
Northwestern, Georgia, and 13th ranked Colorado State.
Yeah, we had to work. But then the next week we went to Notre Dame and played UCLA, who was ranked #1, and we beat them in 5. And that's what really propelled that team to a national championship.
Yeah.
Gave us the confidence.
Was that the Colorado State team that was Terry Pettit's daughter was setting, or was that before?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Colorado State. Yeah, that's amazing that you remember that 25 years ago. Who your next three opponents were after those.
Yeah. So it looks like Kansas is staying with the same lineup, but they're putting in a different setter. So they've got Katie Dalton.
Yep.
Parker, Colorado.
Goes down the line, good set, good swing, and a kill by Schneider on the right side.
Back serving for the Jayhawks, #3, Reagan Burns.
I know you were chatting with Matt Ulmer, earlier today before the match, and you asked him, I think the first question you said was, hey, everybody wants to know, why did you leave Oregon? I've had a successful program, I've been there for 8 years, doing great things up there, had some terrific players. And so you said, why the move?
Yeah. And that's where everybody, because it's kind of Oregon's a great program. He's had a lot of success there, but, in coaching, I think sometimes, when opportunities present themselves, and for him, the opportunity was, wow, nice swing by Swanson there. But his wife's from the Midwest. He's from the Midwest. He played. His mom coaches at Carthage College in the Midwest. So he's got 4 kids between 1 and 11. So let's see, where are you going to get some help helping those, babysitting those kids?
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing, volleyball is happening in the Midwest right now. The biggest tournament, junior recruiting tournament of the year is in Kansas City. And so when you're in Oregon, Washington, you're in Rutgers, Maryland, it's a long way to go to these tournaments.
Sure.
And it's not like there's big things happening in those faraway places. So just less travel time, more family time. And so, for him, he seemed very excited about this move for his family and his wife. Seems like she's really, really happy. And,
when you went out there last year to play Oregon, I talked to Coach Holmes before I went out, and I said, hey, where do I want to eat in Eugene? And he said, you got to go to this place called Taco Vor. Phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he knows his restaurant, so you probably be able to hook you up with somewhere in Lawrence as well.
Yeah. We talked about Lawrence and Eugene are very similar towns. They're college towns.
Right.
They're about the same size. So it's probably a really good change for him in that, he's still going to a similar type town. And so, but, Oregon was drawing great. Kansas draws great. And now I think he wants to get a sellout streak going in Kansas.
They had one of the largest crowds of the year when you were out there. Of course, you had the largest crowds almost everywhere you went last year on the road. But it was a great environment out there.
Yeah, but one thing he did share is they're going to start playing in Allen. They're going to play Kansas State in Allen Fieldhouse. Yeah. So now that's how you build the crowds. That's how you build momentum, and that's what we're going. Nebraska's going to play in PBA next year.
Right.
Everybody's been asking when, and as coaches, you don't like to leave your home gym, but it's time to step that up a little bit. And then, of course, Wisconsin plays in Milwaukee, and there's some other programs that are playing in the big arenas.
Yeah.
So it's another way to grow volleyball, and so he's thinking big.
Well, he said he talked to Danny about it, right? He talked to Danny, said, hey, you have a small gym at Louisville. What did you do to help grow that program in Louisville? And she went to the Yum Center.
Yeah.
Started playing at the Yum Center. And so I think, he said, well, we have Allen Fieldhouse. Let's play the in-state rival, K-State, in Allen, and try to grow it that way.
Yeah.
I thought the other interesting question you asked him is, what's his hobby?
Yeah. And I asked that, Larry, because I think coaches need to have hobbies. They need to have something that takes their mind away. And his is singing. He loves to sing.
In church?
Yeah. I even asked him about, does he sing Pearl Jam? He goes, heck yeah.
So I think there is a video to come in the future of Matt Ulmer singing somewhere. Somebody's going to pick up on that, and we're gonna see video of Matt Ulmer.
Hey, he needs to get Harper Murray down there and make TikToks on that.
That'll blow up in a hurry. Swing from that right pin. The kill again by Nelson. Grace Nelson has looked impressive.
She has. Yeah, I'm looking where she's from. She's from Illinois. I'm curious what club program she played for, but Chicago kid.
Yep. Didn't play a lot last year. Just 15 matches, hit 182, but you can see she's going to be an important part of KU volleyball this year.
Yeah. Just seems to me Grace Nelson brings an energy and an intensity and the competitiveness to her team. And that'll continue to develop over time as they get more comfortable with each other. And
back row attack.
And she's got a great serve.
Yeah.
As well. She's really stressed Nebraska. Let's see if she can keep this one on them. So here's an interesting thing about Nebraska right now. When you run the rotation when you have a lefty at left front, rotation 1, which is what they're in right now, and they're kind of getting stuck in it. But the pattern they like to run is Ryan Hunter will come and hit in the middle of the court, and Rebecca will go behind. When you pass, it's really hard to defend. But they're struggling passing right now, so they're stuck because the lefties have a hard time out there on the left side being a left-hander.
Musboom Kelly takes the timeout. Jayhawks by 4. Oh, this.
No, yeah, this right here.
This is Nebraska's national championship teams.
I know. Who's seeing that right now?
Yeah, you are. Everybody right now. We're on.
Oh, we're on?
Yeah.
Oh, we're on live right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were on timeout.
This is the national championship teams. 5 of them. 5-time national champs.
Okay.
4 of those belong to the guy next to me, John Cook.
I am a rookie.
Yeah. Hey, how about Hunter and the way she's played?
Yeah, I'm really impressed. Really happy for her to just start to put it together. She's the player that was recruited here. We're seeing why she was recruited in Nebraska.
Yeah, she has been dynamic.
Yeah, she was recruited. She came to Dream Team camp and she just dominated. I mean, she had other players in that camp scared to dig her.
What do you think she was hitting after 3 sets? Ryan Hunter.
Right, 450.
Yeah, 9 kills, 11 swings, no errors, 8-18.
Wow. That is impressive.
It is impressive. It is impressive.
And I think Andy's may only have 1 error, and it was a misfire by her and Campbell.
You're right. Yep. Without that 1 error, she's hitting 562. 10 kills. But when she and Bergen, she was hitting 880, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think Danny Musboom Kelly's first speech to the team was?
Well, I asked her what she was going to talk to them about, because as a coach, those are the things that I'm interested in. Your first. What are you going to go down there and tell them? Because everybody's going to be thinking, okay, how's we've had this coach for so long. What's this new coach going to say? And she gave a really good answer. She said, I want to remind them, here's some certain things we've been working on. Running more middle. They're doing that tonight. Her big thing about serving, she wants them to serve tougher. She didn't think they were serving very tough this spring. And I think they've done a pretty nice job tonight. I think they're pretty low error. And then the setters really, being aggressive with running middle and forcing certain things. So that was going to be her pregame talk. I'm curious if that's what happened.
Hunter now she has 2 kills here in this set. So we combine the first 3, and then this game she now has 11 kills on 14 swings, no errors.
Yeah. Wow. What a great
story
debut for her.
Yeah, and Danny talked about her in practice that you wouldn't know that she had an injury. Like, she hasn't been too tentative. And obviously, it's going to be in your mind a little bit when you come back from injury. That's a difficult injury to come back from, especially in this sport. But in terms of being in practice and the fluidity and mentality, Danny says you wouldn't know it. We're seeing that here tonight.
Wow.
And the ace. Heidi Devers out of Olathe, Kansas. I'm sure Mom and Dad made the trip up for this one. Good contingent of KU fans here in the spring match. Glenn pushes outside, and Harper Murray gets the kill.
Really nice tempo there by Campbell. But the other thing that Danny said that she wanted to talk about her pregame talk is we're going to play different lineup every game, and I want to see us still be consistent. We have no drop-offs depending on who we're playing, and I think that's a great challenge for a team like this that returns a lot of players, has talented freshmen. And if we're going to be a great team, whoever we're playing, we don't miss a beat, and that's a great challenge for these guys.
Good block there by Jackson. Teamed up with Harper Murray. Choboy's serve. On the slide. Attack. No.
Oh, no
into
touch.
The antenna.
Yeah.
Did it just brush the antenna, or was it wide?
I think it was wide, and she tried to tool off the block and missed it. So they're not, I don't know if Kansas has another challenge or not.
Second touch, good reaction by Mauck to keep that alive. Nelson, look at that with Swanson with the swing.
Look at that set. Yeah, wow. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, Nebraska's gone to another level with their liberos on setting out a system. That might be the most impressive thing for me. Look at this set right here.
Wow.
That might be the most impressive thing for me, what I'm seeing from the Nebraska team tonight.
Back row, Nelson got the kill.
I mean, they've scored really well at setting the back row tonight. Maybe they need to think about setting a little bit more.
Good look there, falling right in front of Andy Jackson. Tip, good diving up by Dean. And Nelson goes off the block and long. Grace Nelson with another kill. Nelson had 7 kills through the first 3 sets. And she has a total of 10. Serve long. Good driving serve there by Swanson.
Boy, they can just manage, Kansas can manage that serving a little more.
Skylar Pierce with the swing. Nelson into the block. Andy Jackson gets the block. Campbell Flynn right beside her. Flynn, good size for a center coach. 6'3", great hands.
Yes, she
not going to lose too many battles on that right side, right?
Yeah, she was Gatorade Player of the Year. I mean, just and you know, played on a fairly average high school team. It wasn't like they won. I don't think they won the state. But I also think that takes in maybe her career, what she's done there. But I've seen her take teams with not much talent and do really well in the club tournaments.
Out of Oakland, Michigan.
And of course, I think with the USA, I think they won a world championship for
24.
Yep, 24, yeah.
Great set, and Jackson rips it back across the body. Great angle on the kill.
Well, I hope we get that on replay. I want to see that one. Can we get a replay, Sue? Slow-mo?
There we go.
Slow-mo, yeah, look, beautiful replay. Nice job by the cameras, wow. That's big time.
The reaction.
Yeah.
Olivia Mauck with the ace serve.
You know, Larry, this past week was the 1-year anniversary of the tornadoes that took out Olivia's Mock's house, got destroyed.
In Bennington, Nebraska, right?
And they're, I mean, I don't even know if they've restarted rebuilding yet. And her dad is an actual builder. He's a framer. He frames houses, but I know he's been super busy with all the houses they've had to rebuild up there. But she's one of those players that has a really nice swing right there. Grace Nelson. Oh,
they overruled it.
Called it wide. Wow.
R1 overruled, said wide.
Yeah. But anyway, just, I mean, think about that. You're a freshman in college and your house gets taken out by a tornado. I mean, how do you prepare for that?
It's a great story on it this week. She talked about how mom and dad jumped in the car and started driving away because they just had a feeling on video with Olivia at the time and just how traumatic it was. It's traumatic for that entire community of Bennington.
Yeah. And you know what? In the time I coached her freshman year, I never heard her complain. They always ask, "How are your parents doing?" And, well, they're living in an apartment somewhere. They're trying to find another place, and just never complained.
Yep. Well, she, for 4 years, patrolled that back line like no other Husker has. Lexi Rodriguez set the all-time record for digs in a season. Went deep into the season to get it, but took down JWO, Justine Longarantes.
I know. We were all, as we were counting it down, everybody just wanted it so bad for her, you know, and we knew we had to keep winning to give her a chance, and it worked out great.
Watch that. That's just the place erupts. Flew all over again. This is the daunting task of replacing Lexi Rodriguez, and those four up to the task.
They're up to the task. And I was talking to Danny about how is she going to make that decision. I think that's going to be one of the great storylines going into the fall. Who will be the starting libero? As they say, who's going to wear the jersey? And she had a really interesting answer. She said it's probably going to, they're all so even, they're all passing wise very good, serving. She said it's going to come down to personality. What does the team need? Because they're all very different personalities.
Sure. Yeah.
So I thought that was a very interesting answer. I would never look at it that way, but again, that's Danny and her instincts, and you know, she was a high-level player, and those are important things.
Yeah.
So what player is going to help that team feel comfortable and confident and be the best fit?
Yeah, and it's interesting you to put it that way, because you said, what does the team need? And they may need different things at different times. Do they need a calming effect? Do they need a motivator? Do they, like, what is the team going to need in those moments? You're right, it is going to be fascinating.
Yeah, it'll probably depend on who's all starting too, because that'll determine what personality they need.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great story for the fans to follow.
Yeah. Tip into the middle. Man, got it down. Nelson with a nice tip. Threw it right into the campfire.
That should be worth 2 points if you get a tip down on Laney Choboy. It was a nice tip. I'm also impressed here with Katie Dalton. She's doing a nice job setting. I mean, I think, and they had a great setter last year. Cameron Turner was phenomenal. Terrific setter. So Kansas is doing a great job with setters, and Matt's always had great setters at Oregon.
Yeah, this Kansas team lost all 4 of their top point getters from last year and their starting setter, who was there for, I think she was 4 years start.
4-year starter, yeah. She's there for 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like we played her 10 years ago and she was still playing this year. Yeah, we had a great match here when Cameron Turner was a freshman in the NCAA tournament.
Great up. Nice job to keep that alive. Good hustle.
There we go.
Campbell, second touch, and then Rebecca Alec gets the kill off the block and wide. Point for the Huskers. 20-17, Nebraska with the lead.
How many kills does Rebecca have now?
Rebecca has... She had 8 in the first 3. We have to add them because...
Yeah. Okay. 11.
11 total.
Yeah. She's... You might want to think about her as player of the match, her or Andy, the combo.
When it gets over 10, I have to take the shoes off, so that's why I was struggling for a second.
At the line serving for the Jayhawks, number 1, Grace Nelson.
Grace Nelson to serve. Wow, there's a nice block solo by Ryan Swanson.
It might have been a tough set, a little tight for Skylar. Yeah. She just couldn't quite get there to get her feet to the ball.
Jayhawks have come back to tie it up. 3 straight now for KU. 20 all.
Again, look who's serving, Grace Nelson.
Yeah.
She's been a force back there, and again, she's serving in Nebraska's rotation 1. Let's see if they can make an adjustment here.
And long. Bailed Nebraska out.
Again, we get to this point in the game. Who's going to make the plays? Who's going to put the pressure on them?
Carrie Leinbach, the freshman, in to serve now. How about that?
There you go.
Leinbach with the ace. Boy, the Nebraska Littles, huh?
Who'd she come in to serve for? Skylar? Yeah.
Yeah. Skylar. 22-20. Nebraska with the lead. Huskers on top by 2 here in the 4th. Now you don't want to miss live coverage of the 2025 MPSV Men's Volleyball Tournament Championship. Tonight, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Larry, I just think this is huge for men's volleyball. The Big Ten's televising this match tonight.
Yep.
And men's volleyball is a great sport. Unfortunately, with Title IX, it's hard to build. I mean, we wanted to try to start it. Every year I ask for a men's program, but you got the Title IX you got to deal with.
Yeah.
But the fact that those schools came into, had USC, UCLA had men's volleyball that came in, so it's awesome that the Big Ten is going after that.
USC Pepperdine.
Yeah.
Look, Tyler, here's a live look as they're warming up.
Yeah.
Getting prepped for that MPSF national title. USC and Pepperdine, and you can see that right here on the Big Ten Network.
Yeah, Pepperdine got on there, upset UCLA. I think it's number 1 seed or number 1 in the country. So, but men's volleyball is very competitive with the top 10, and it's almost like any night anybody can beat anybody. It's fun to watch.
Well, Matt Olmel played a little bit of college volleyball. He played for mom.
Carthage.
His mom at Carthage. He was an All-American setter.
Yeah, and he told us his assistant coach beat him in the finals in a reverse sweep. How's that?
He said, I never hear about that. He doesn't ever remind me about that. His assistant coach, Matt Worley, who was National Coach of the Year on the men's side just last year, and Worley made the jump over to women's volleyball. This is his assistant. Brought his other 2 assistants with him from Oregon.
Yeah, that just shows you what kind of coach he is and the relationships he has with his staff.
Roll shot into the middle. Tried the diving up, but could not get it. Harper Murray with the kill. And now Nebraska, I don't know, what do we call this? Match point? Set point?
Set point.
Set point, match point. To go on a 4-0 sweep.
So Nebraska has that confidence. They get to the end here, they can just turn it up. They're making plays. That's the confidence of an experienced team.
Great swing there. The kill by Swanson.
I think Kansas has a chance to be a really good team this year.
Yeah.
I don't know where they'll be picked in the Big 12, but
driving serve, good pass by Malk. Into the net. A little too aggressive there on the swing from Hunter as she ripped through it and then right into the net.
So they ran a little crossing pattern there.
Yeah.
We call that a D2, dog 2, where Ryan came around and hit in the middle. Again, that's Danny. That's what she likes to do. And
a tip from the back. Great job by Hunter.
Yeah, wow. Nice swing.
And leads to the kill. But a great up defense, straight to offense for the Huskers, and they close it out in a 4-0 sweep over Kansas. That's a pretty impressive debut.
First of all, the freshmen tonight for Nebraska they came to play tonight, and I thought there was some really good volleyball out here tonight, but by both teams. I think we have some elite setters in this gym tonight, and